Welcome back, everyone. Now, this next Hollywood superstar has built a career making us laugh on the big and small screen, starring in some of the best-loved comedies of all time. He went from awkward teen in the 90s series Freaks and Geeks
All guys want to make out. But I just want to hold you.
to winning a decade-long role on the award-winning sitcom How I Met Your Mother.
It's okay. It's over.
But it was Jason Segel's musical talents in Forgetting Sarah Marshall that won over fans around the world.
And if I see Van Helsing, I swear to the Lord I will slay him. He'd take him.
Now he's writing a brand new book called Otherworld, and it's just been released, and we're thrilled to say he joins us in Hollywood. Jason, great to see you again. Before we get on to this book, let's talk about that movie, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, because it was a great crew. You had Mila Kunis, you had Russell Brand, Paul Rudd, Kristen Bell. That must have been a fun crew to hang out with.
Yeah, I mean, that was the best experience I've had. I was, I think, 24, 25 years old when I wrote that, and I had the naivety of youth. Like, I'll set a movie in Hawaii and see what happens, and then we showed up there, and I realized I had tricked everybody. It was the best thing ever.
Jason, you know the Dracula musical that you came up with for that? Was that a spontaneous thing? Was it something you'd planned, you'd written? Where did you get that idea from?
Yeah, it's sad. A lot of people think that I wrote that for the movie, but I had like an awkward beginning of my 20s where I was sort of too tall to play a kid anymore, but I was too young to play a doctor. So I thought that the way I'd jumpstart my career was to write a lavish Dracula puppet musical. So it was written long before the movie. I took it on a CD to play for Judd Apatow, saying like, hey, Judd, I've done it. I've written the best thing I've ever written. And I played it, and he pushed stop on the CD player and said, you can't ever play this for anybody, ever.
You know, you make such a good team with Paul Rudd as well. You started alongside him again in the movie that I love this one, which is I Love You, Man. And that feels like, these sort of movies feels like there'd be a lot of laughing on the set. You often see outtakes, and I don't know how you guys get through scenes.
Yeah, well, Paul and I have done, it must be 5 or 6 movies together now. Yeah. He's one of my really good friends and someone I really love acting against. We have a really similar sense of humor that's often like super dumb. But I guess you hope that what you like, other people will like too, and it seemed to work out that way.
Jason, you know, you've done quite a few children's projects as well, you know, being a voice actor in Despicable Me. You wrote the Muppets movie. How did that come about?
Well, I know on its face that's probably creepy because I don't have kids. But I think that, you know, really influential moment in my life was seeing like Goonies and reading Roald Dahl books. These moments where you get a little whisper in your ear that there's magic out there, that maybe like right around the corner, if you're the one who's brave enough to look, you'll find a secret world. I think that idea is why I became an actor in the first place. Because, I mean, this is impossible, what I'm doing in a lot of ways, but I sort of had that voice in my ear that you can do it. Mm-hmm. And I guess at some point I decided I wanted to provide that voice for other kids of a new generation, of just someone saying, like, there's magic hidden right around the corner. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, now you're writing a series of adult fiction books. So this is the latest one, which is called Otherworld. Tell us about this.
Yeah, well, I tried virtual reality as a demo at a place called the Sundance Film Festival. And I was like, oh, they've finally done it. They've been promising virtual reality for as long as I can remember, and this is going to change everything. And then I thought, oh, if I didn't enjoy my life and I had access to this, I would never leave.
Right.
And that's sort of, that's sort of where the story was born. And I sort of think of it like if the kids from Freaks and Geeks got sucked into Lord of the Rings.
Right, because it's not really a comedy, is it, this book? There's a serious side to you, I suppose, that fans might not know about, Jason.
Yeah, well, I think as I've gotten older, I'm thinking about different stuff. And one of the things that's happened in my adult life, you know, the iPhone's only 10 years old. It's really hard to remember that. It seems like you couldn't even remove it from our culture now. But I watched a lot change, where all of a sudden people had cameras in their pockets, and then people were communicating in 140 characters. And I think you see the inevitable results of that. Like,
Yeah.
there's a bit of chaos going on, at least over here.
Yeah, there
and
is.
So, so I wanted to write a book that was about the dangers of these technologies that were sort of promised to us were going to unite us and provide people with a better way to communicate. And it seems like that might not be the case. And I think we should be just as careful about virtual reality.
I can't wait to read it. It's going to be great.
Jason's latest book, Otherworld, is available now at all bookstores. Go and grab a copy. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, this was a blast. I hope to meet you guys in person one day.
Yeah, come on down under.
Definitely come and
Okay.
visit us. Thanks, Jace.
Thank you, guys.
Such a nice guy.